Good morning, my dear students. Today I am going to continue the story, The Rat Trap. So, some of the paragraphs we have done, and the brief introduction I have also given you all. That this story is all about a stranger, a vagabond, okay, a rat trapper, a beggar. He's having so many names, okay, and so many professions, and because of that, he has been addressed with different names, okay, in this story. Uh, so we'll just call him by beggar or the rat trappers, sometimes vagabond. This story is actually set in Sweden, in that is very much rich in iron ores. So the narrator has very nicely explained. So this story is actually the human relationship, okay, that how society made someone nice, someone cruel. So this vagabond was the product of the cruelty of the society. He was not by birth a criminal. He was not by birth a thief. He was not by birth a, uh, evil man. So we will not judge him based on his, works, based on his, uh, the activity he performs in his life. It was because of the nature of the people, it was because of the society, it was because of the uh, attitude of the people towards him that made him like that. So we will think positively about him, okay. And at the end of the story we'll come to know that how a beautiful young lady, when she treats him very nicely, this man was totally a changed man, okay. And now he left all his earnings as a gift, as a Christmas gift for the lady, and now he was completely a changed man. So I am reading the text, and according to need of the explanation and reference, I will just try to give you all. So we'll continue from here. The stranger must have seemed incredulous. Here the stranger refers to the man. Okay. The man, for the old man. The old man actually was the host, and the stranger was actually here the guest. Here a stranger is the vagabond, okay, the robber. And the old man actually who has harbored him, okay, who has sheltered him in his house, okay, for one night on the request of. Incredulous, what does it mean? Incredulous means he was very much ready to just so. In Hindi it is Biswas Patra, means he was very much confident with the man, and that's why he wanted to give all the details of his past life, okay, his savings, his past lives, about his family and about everything. We know by the introduction, okay, from the introduction of the old man, that neither he was having wife, okay, nor children, so he was living alone in the house, okay. For the old man got up, okay, and went to the window, took down a leather pouch which hung on a nail in the very window frame. And now see how he was incredulous, okay, how he was trusty and willing to just share everything, and picked out three wrinkled 10 kroner bills. This is the Swedish, currency. These he held up, okay, before the eyes of his guest, before the vagabond, okay, because the before the rat trappers, nodding knowingly, okay, and then stuffed them back into the pouch. The next day, both men got up, okay, in good season. The crofter was in a hurry to milk his cow, and the other man probably thought he should not stay in bed when the head of the house had gotten up. I think we have done, okay, the paragraphs in which uh, that it gives details about the food they ate, okay, the game they play, the things they shared, and finally it was the after the game the narrator was shown sorry the rat trappers was shown the savings of the old man, and finally what happened in the morning time, both got up, and then both men got up in a good season, means very nicely. The crofter was in a hurry to milk his cow. The crofter was the old man, okay. uh, and the other man probably thought he should not stay in bed when the head of the house had gotten up. And this vagabond, okay, realized, thought that I should not be on bed if his uh, host has uh, gotten up. The crofter locked the door and put the key in his pocket. The man with the rat trap said goodbye and thank you, and thereupon each went his own way. But half an hour later, the rat trap peddler stood again before the door. Means he once again came back because he was tempted with the money. Okay, 10 kroners money. He was tempted, so he wanted to steal the saving of the crofter. So that's why he came back once again for this temptation. And that temptation, initially he was calling this money, good food, shelter, okay, and beautiful objects are actually the trap. And now he was tempted with the money, so he came back. He did not try to get in, okay, in however, means he did not try to just open the door and move inside the house. He only went up to the window. So the window smashed, a pane stuck in his hand, and got hold of the pouch with the 30 kroner. His only intention was to take the money, okay, in his possession and then move away. And he did exactly, okay, the same. He took the money and thrust it into his own pocket. Then he hung the leather pouch very carefully so that it could not be noticed by the crofter back in its place and went away. And now there's uh, the vagabond, okay, went away. As he walked along with the money in his pocket, he felt quite pleased with his smartness. And because of this action just now he has performed, he was very much happy. He realized, of course, that at first he dared not continue on the public highway. Okay, guilty conscious, means now he was planning not to move it with the highway, okay, the main road. He thought that he should take the shortcut way, or the way, okay, that leads towards the woods highway, but must turn up the road into the woods. During the first hours, this caused him no difficulty. Means he was walking, okay, very happily with the money, okay. Later in the day, it became worse. But after some hours, he realized that he was moving in wrong direction. Means he lost his way, for it was a big and confusing forest which he had gotten in. Means he was stuck in. Means he was stuck in the woods as if a chewed chewing gum stuck in hair. This was the plight and condition of uh, the vagabond. He was completely stuck in the woods. Means there was no way to come out of that. It shows that he has lost his path, okay, and unable to test the path back to come out of from the woods. He tried to be sure to walk in a definite direction, but the path twisted back and forth so strangely. He walked and walked without coming to the end of the wood, and finally he realized that he had only been walking around in the same part of the forest. So this shows his complete confusion, the state of complete confusion, and he was unable to just come out. All at once he recalled his thoughts about the world and the rat traps. And finally, the same idea, once he was stuck, that came in his mind, that the world is a rat trap. Now his own turn had come. How his own turn had come? Now he was stuck in this rat trap with the tempting objects, okay, with the bait of the 10 kroners, okay, 30 kroners note. He had left himself be fooled by a bet and had been caught. This was his own realization. This was his self guilt. Okay. And those who have confessing nature, okay, those who have admitting natures that they have done something wrong, so there may be a chances of their improvement. Okay. And those who don't realize their own mistakes, okay, they don't confess their own mistakes and fault, who don't admit their own guilt, there is no chances of their improvement. But this man realized his guilt. This man confessed his fault. This man admitted his his wrong work. The whole forest with its trunks, okay, and branches, its thickets and fallen logs, closed in upon him like an impenetrable prison from which he could never escape. And now, just like iron wire, okay, that is used for making a rat trap, similarly, the trunks, okay, stems or the heavy log of the wood or the tree appears for him just similar to the rat trap's wire. Means he was completely stuck in the uh, forest, just like a rat trap, just like a mouse, just like a rat trapped in a rat trap. It was late in December. See the month, okay, it was extremely cold month, okay, in Sweden. Darkness was already descending over the forest. It was night time, okay, very soon it will be night. This increased the danger, okay, and increased also high his gloom and despair. And you know that in the night time the temperature went below minus, okay, and there will be chances of death if you will not get shelter and a warm place. Then surely and certainly the man will die because of the coldness of the atmosphere and the environment, okay, during the night time. Finally he saw no way out, and he sank down on the ground, tired to death. Means he was totally tired after walking whole day, okay, in the woods, try to find out the path, thinking that his last moment had come. And now he realized that he is surely and certainly going to breathe his last, going to die very soon, okay. But just as he laid his head on the ground, he heard a sound, a hard, regular thumping sound, okay. Means he was about to faint, about to breathe his last, okay, about to die. Suddenly he heard a thumping, a kind of a continuous sound, okay, of hammer or anvil. There was no doubt as to what that was. He raised himself. Anyhow, just he woke up, okay, a stand up. Those are the hammer's strokes from an iron mill, and very soon concluded that this sound is actually coming from a smithy, okay, and that sound is actually of the strokes of hammer, okay. He thought there must be people nearby. He summoned all his strength, means anyhow gather his courage and confidence and strength and might, got up and staggered in the direction of the sound. Staggered means anyhow start moving, okay, just like a small baby when he takes its first step, like a staggering, unable to take his leg up and down. So that was the staggering way. A drunkard also a stagger in his way, means unable to move properly, okay, because of the weaknesses or tiredness. In the direction of the sound, the Ramsjo iron works, okay, which are now closed down. This is the iron works, okay. Ramsjo mills were not so long ago a large plant with a smelter, a rolling mill and forge. These are the places, okay. These are the small shops where the things were made of the iron. In the summertime, long lines of heavily loaded barges and scows slid down the canal. Means now the narrator is giving about the area informations, okay, and its working nature. What happens here in summertime and what are now going to happen, okay. So this time in the um, winter time or in the cold weather, very few works are done, okay, but in summertime all the works were done properly. Like he's giving references of like lodges barge and scows slide down the canal which led a large inland lake, okay. In the winter time the roads near the mill were black from all the coal dust which sifted down from the big charcoal crates. This is the condition, okay, of the area. This is the impact of also industrialization because of the smoke, okay. The whole area is completely dark. During one of the long dark, okay, evening just before Christmas, the master smith and his helper sat in the dark forge near the furnace waiting for the pig iron. Pig iron means pure, okay, refined iron which had been put in the fire to be ready to put on the anvil. Means they wanted to ship out, okay, refined piece of iron so that they could transport it, they could sell it, okay, in the town. Every now and then one of them got up to start the glowing, okay, mass with a long iron bar. Means they were working, okay, just like a goldsmith. Those who have seen goldsmith, they are familiar with that how the goldsmith is working and how they are just wrapping or hitting the irons, okay, or making some weapon or doing some work, returning in a few moments dripping with perspiration. And now the narrator is telling that the forge is, the smithy is, okay, is very hot, okay, because of the burning of the coal, and the man who was working there was perspirating. This was that sweating, okay, high heat. Thou, as was the custom, he wore nothing but a long shirt and a pair of wooden shoes. This is their uh, working clothes. All the time there were many sounds to be heard in the forge. The big bellows groaned and the burning coal cracked. These were the sounds that were coming. The fire boy shoveled, means a kind of knocking was there, okay, so that the burning could be flamed more and more. Charcoal into the mouth of the furnace with a great deal of clatter, means he was stoking the fire, okay, means he was just like giving, trying to flame the fire more. Outside roared the waterfall, and a sharp north wind whipped the rain against the brick tiled roof. And it was a very little bit gusty waves were also blowing there. It was probably on account of all this noise that the blacksmith did not notice that a man had opened the gate and entered the forge. And because of the little bit windy atmosphere, the man who was working in the smithy did not notice that someone has opened the gate and entered in the forge until he stood close up to the furnace. And when the man, means the vagabond, the rat tappers, okay, uh, stand near the smithy, means the fireplace, okay, the man who was working there, he noticed on that time. Surely it was nothing unusual for poor vagabonds. It was natural things for them. So without any better shelter for the night to be attracted to the forge by the glow of light which escaped through the sooty pans and to come in to warm themselves in front of the fire. According to the narrator, this was the nice place for the all the vagabonds, okay, who just roam here and there aimlessly. So that place was very much nice to warm up themselves and just stay the night, okay, stay for the night. So he did not ask any questions and allowed the vagabond to stay and warm up his body and have a nap there for the night. The blacksmith glanced only casually and indifferently at the intruders. Now see, intruders is here. Once again, he has been given different name. That the rat trappers, vagabond, you know, the thief, and now intruders. Intruder means a person who had entered in the house without taking permission. So the Smith, Black Smith, did not uh, interrogate that who are you, from where you are coming. Like this, he was just working and let the intruders stay in warm of his body. He looked the way people of his type casually did, okay, usually did, with a long beard, dirty, ragged, and with a bunch of rat traps dangling on his chest. Dangling refers to hanging, okay. This was the appearance of the vagabond. He asked permission to stay, and the master blacksmith nodded a hearty consent without honoring him with a single word. And the man who was having the rat traps requested, and the blacksmith, gave him consent while just nodding his head. Okay. The tramp did not say anything either. He had not come here to talk, but only to warm himself and sleep. The tramp here refers to once again the vagabond, the rat trappers, makers, the thief. So here he was uh, wanted to take rest. He wanted to stay for the night. Wanted to warm up his body, and even he was not willing to talk with the blacksmith, and neither the blacksmith was also willing to talk with the tramp. In those days, the Ramsjo iron mill was owned by a very prominent iron master, whose greatest ambition was to ship out good iron to the market. And the owner, now the narrator is going to give the introduction of the master, okay, the owner of that whole iron mills. So his ambition was to ship out, okay, produce good pieces of iron so that it could be sent and sell to the market. He watched both night and day to see that the works was done as well as possible. Means he keeps on searching, okay, keeps on inspecting all the time that his workers are working properly or not, even in the daytime and even the night time. This shows his, hard working nature. And at this very moment, he came into the forge on one of his nightly rounds of inspection. And the same day, on that very night, he came in the forge, okay, the place where uh, the tramp, the rat trap man, okay, or the vagabond has sheltered, and now he will just misjudge him, okay. Uh, he will just think that this man who is just hanging some rat traps on his chest was actually one of his friends, okay. And after this we'll continue the story. So he will just request him to come with him and spend this Christmas with his family. And now he will send his daughter, okay, Edla Williamson, to move, okay, one of my colleagues, okay, comrades, who was supposed to be captain with me, okay, in defense, and now his condition is very bad, and he was hiding his identity. So like this kind of things will happen, okay, in the story. Next we'll continue in the next class. Please do the homework, okay, assignment, and that is write a debate either for or against the motion. Participation in sports is a mere wastage of time. You support this, you don't support this, you write, okay, according to the motion, you decide. Thank you very much, all the best, god bless you all.